Hare Krishna. So today we're going to discuss about the fifth text of the Nectar of Instruction. This will be in two parts. Today we're going to discuss the first part. So this particular text is going to deal with a very sensitive topic of respect. In the previous verse, text 4, we have discussed about the 6 loving exchanges. And this particular text deals with how these loving exchanges are to be done at different levels of devotees. Yeah? Even in devotees or in Vaishnavas, there are different gradations. There is the Kanishtadhikari, there is Madhyamadhikari, and there is the Uttamadhikari. So this particular text deals with how we honor them. Yeah. So it's a very, very amazing topic. In fact, this whole concept of Kanishta, Uttama, Madhyama and Uttama, it can be a big thesis in itself. It's the whole how they are categorized based on what qualities. It's brilliant. Yeah. So I'm sure we get a lot of clarity about devotion and devotees by the end of this chapter. Yeah. So respect and honoring devotees is at the very core of Vaishnavism. Yeah. A devotee looks beautiful in the eyes of Krishna with the ornaments of his qualities. Yeah. We all love to look beautiful, right? So what is that real beauty which attracts the heart of Krishna? That beauty is our devotional qualities. And out of these ornaments, the most important gem is respect. So respect is that quality which can melt the most hardest of hearts. And the lack of this respect actually invites so much of misfortune. So let us start with the negative. How many instances do we read in the entire of Bhagavad, Mahabharata, and many Puranas, Itihasas, and the different Granthas, where because of not offering the right respect, devotees have invited curses. Yeah? Maharshi Sutta, who was an eloquent speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, was giving Srimad Bhagavatam rendition to a great group of sages. And when Lord Balram has walked in, he did not show adequate respect by standing up from his seat and offering his respects. As a result, what has happened? He was killed on the spot. The assassin can be dangerous sometimes. He was killed on the spot. So we should know whom to respect and how to respect. Because here, if you see the whole technicality of the thing, Maharshi Sutta, he was a qualified speaker. That is why he was made to sit on the Vyasasana, and he was sitting and delivering the, delivering Bhagavatam class. But at that time, in walked Lord Balaram. So one should have the sensitivity of what is the position of the person. Like, for example, a person sitting and giving a class thinks that, yes, I'm, what I'm doing is taking the class. And generally a teacher does not get up from the seat to offer the respects to somebody who walks in. But here is Balaram. The mistake of Maharshi Sutta is he did not understand the position of Balaramji. That he has to be given so much respect that, though I'm giving a Bhagavatam class, I should get off the seat and offer respects. So this inability to assess the position of the person is the root cause of making an offense by not honoring them appropriately. And that led to such a great mishap. He was killed. So that is why one should learn the art of respecting according to the position of the devotee. And this is an art because it comes over a period of attaining maturity in devotion. Yeah, in the initial days, in the initial state, in the initial stages of devotion, it is difficult to discriminate. And actually, in the process of discriminating, we might even make offenses. So the default system is offer respects to all. Yeah. But one should also, as one grows in bhakti, one should also understand to whom we should respect in which way. Yeah. Also, we have the pastime of Indra, not respecting his spiritual master Brihaspati. Yeah. And because of which he fell down from his position. Yeah. And we have the pastime of the Brahma Kumaras and the gatekeeper, Jaya and Vijaya in the Vaikuntha. Yeah. So Jaya and Vijaya, they did not allow the four Kumaras to enter inside. Yeah. And the whole conversation, the expression was not respectful enough. So that invited anger of the sages. So one should be very, very careful. Vaishnava dealings should be, dealt with in a very careful manner, because inadvertently offenses happen. Our devotion is, closed. Yeah. So one should be very sensitive and expert in dealings, and one should never lose one should never, keep oneself in a position that one does not adequately honor or respect Vaishnavas. It is said that in relationships can exist even without love, but they can never exist without respect. This is how important respect is. And so many more examples we see in the entire, Bhagavatam and Mahabharata, where how important respect is. If you read the Mahabharata, what is the Mahabharata all about? So many times we see the Pandavas, whenever they come across the sages, when they are in the forest, in the Aranyakanda, whenever they meet the sages, Mahabharata so elaborately describes how Yudhishthir Maharaj, actually worships their lotus feet, offers words of glorification, and actually sits at their lotus feet to hear from them. Was so eager to hear. Yeah. And Lord Ramachandra, when he was on the Aranyavas, whenever he met sages, Agastya Muni, Bharadwaj Muni, all the rishis, all the great sages, he was always, in the mood of worshipping them and hearing from them. So the Lord himself, by his own example, what is he showing us? Yeah. How to properly respect, especially great souls or devotees. So that is why I said respect is the very heart of Vaishnavism. Lord Yudhishthir Maharaj has performed the great Agra Puja, in which he honored the topmost person at the Rajasuya sacrifice. So this is respecting the most qualified person in the appropriate way is a very, it's a very highlight of the entire Rajasuya sacrifice. So what is this communicating? The importance of offering proper respects and honor. So offering respects and honor to the qualified people, especially the devotees of the Lord, is the framework of, the Vaishnava etiquette. So this verse especially speaks about this. So text 5 of the Nectar of Instruction. Yeah, let's recite this verse. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibhischa bhajantam shushushaya bhajana viknyam ananyamanyam Ninda Vichunya Hridami Sita Sangalapya. Translation. One should mentally, please pay attention to this. Here is, the demarcations. This verse is slightly technical, so you need to pay attention. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation. or Diksha, and is engaged in deity worship, the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. So if you see here, these three are exactly the Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama Adhikari. So the classification of a devotee into these three categories of Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama are based on different criteria. Yeah, later on, actually, in the next session, we will also see what is this criteria of classification. So one of the criterion is the faith. Yeah. Here in this translation, what is given is their devotion to the Lord. Yeah. So who is a Kanishta? One who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. Yeah. That means, he has just begun chanting. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that whoever utters the name of Krishna even once is deserving all respects. So one who has just begun to chant the holy name of Krishna, we should understand, deserves all respects. And what should one do? How should one honor such a devotee? Now here is the key. How should one honor such a devotee? Like you see, right? I mean, amongst us, like I'm sure all of you who are attending this session, all of you are chanting the holy name of Krishna. So one should know that before we interact with with each other, we're not interacting with ordinary people. Here are people who are chanting the holy name of Krishna. They deserve great respect. And what should we do? We should mentally honor anybody who begins to chant the holy name of Krishna. One should mentally honor. See, oftentimes in our mind, the mind always tends to judge people based on the externals. Yeah, what are the externals? Oh, this person is of this age. Yeah, this is this person's qualification by degrees, or this is this person's social status, or this is this person's ability or talents. This is the first judgment that the mind makes, right? So based on that, we tend to honor or not adequately honor people. But one should know that a person who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna, one should mentally honor them as a great devotee. Even small children, if they're chanting the holy names of the Lord, one should understand that this person needs a special honor. Why? Because they're chanting the holy names of Krishna. Yeah. The nature of Maya is it tends to make the most extraordinary things seem ordinary. Yeah, devotees, we want to be with them, we want to associate with them. But the issue is, after prolonged association, we tend to develop a sense of familiarity. Yeah, because of developing this sense of familiarity with devotees, the great danger is we forget to honor them or respect them. Yeah. Especially when we are living in communities, it is easy to honor those devotees whom we don't see often, because once in a while we see them and we see them in their best of, appearances, especially when we go to temple, they're full tilak and they're in the best of the mood, exhibiting the best of their qualities, showing the brightest side of theirs. It is very easy to honor such devotees and respect such devotees. Yeah, it's like, wow, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hari Bol, Prabhuji. It's amazing. But then when we can get into a situation where every day we have to live devotees, like supposing, brahmacharis live in ashramas, and sometimes some devotees live in communities where they have to literally see each other. I mean, them in and out. Yeah, not just that you're seeing the best side in the temple, you see who they are, on a daily basis. While somebody within a family, let's say our parents are devotees, or our sisters, our siblings are devotees, or our best friends are devotees. So we know them through and through. So over a period of time, we develop familiarity. And the way Maya works is you tend to judge them by their material qualifications, because of which we forget to honor them for being devotees. And this is a great danger. Yeah. When we begin assessing or thinking of devotees to be ordinary, this is the most dangerous deception of Maya. It's a pathway to offenses. So one should be very careful. When we are associating with devotees, especially those who are chanting, we should understand and honor them mentally ever, irrespective of, whatever your mind is judging them to be. There's this beautiful poem written by His Grace Mahatma Das, Mahatma Prabhu, who's a disciple, great, glorious disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I don't know if any of you have read. In that poem, he writes that, when I went back to Godhead, when I went back to Golok, Vrindavan, I was shocked to see who were the people already there. Yeah. He writes in that poem, he says that I have seen, this particular devotee who actually left the ashram because he was caught stealing something in the ashram. He's the one who went back to Godhead even before him. Yeah, and he said he was shocked to see another temple president who has fallen down from his position and who had left ISKCON. And he has seen other devotees who never had much talent or never performed any great showy services which had a lot of glamour. They were simple devotees chanting 16 rounds and following 4 regulated principles. I have seen even that person, back to Godhead much earlier than me. Yeah. So this is, here is, at the end of the poem, what Mahatma Prabhu writes is, do not consider devotees to be ordinary just because they're not either in the limelight or they're not, those devotees which your mind actually thinks is a person worth honoring or thinking, or should never judge a devotee that, this person is, okay, not a great devotee or a mediocre devotee. You never know. Actually, they are the people who reach Godhead much earlier than us. Yeah. So be careful of the people whom you are associating with. They are not ordinary souls. This is what Srila Prabhupada told his disciples. You never know who they are in their original spiritual identity. Yeah. Many times, actually, my spiritual master, in one of the lectures, he said, in one yatra, Maharaj said that, he said, we do not reveal who we are because we become proud. The spiritual master actually knows who these people are in the original spiritual identity. A spiritual master can actually see you. So, whom we are associating with, especially the devotees who are chanting the holy names of Krishna, we do not know who they actually are in the spiritual world, in their original true identity, or what special people they are. Now they might be simply covered over by the conditionings, or covered over with, Maya. But, their true identity is they're very, very special devotees of Krishna. We never know who they are because we cannot see, we don't have the eyes to see. So never take devotees for granted or ordinary. Yeah. So mentally honor every devotee who even begins to chant the holy name of Krishna even once. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, such a person is to be considered a Vaishnava and worthy of all worship and honor. Yeah. So that is class 1. Class 1 of devotee who is chanting the holy name of Krishna. And to such a devotee, what one should do? One should always mentally honor. There should never be a time or situation that in your mind you actually dishonor a Vaishnava. Never, for any reason. No matter what you hear about them, no matter what you see about them, there should never be a time that mentally one should dishonor a Vaishnava. This is number one. So this is how we offer respects to a Kanishta, yeah, a Kanishta Adhikari. Then next comes the Madhyamadhikari. Yeah. Who is the Madhyamadhikari? One who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in deity worship. Yeah. And how should one honor such a devotee? One should offer humble obeisances. That means wherever you come across a devotee who is initiated or who has taken Diksha, the first thing that you do is, whenever you come across such a devotee, you offer pranams, obeisances, Dandavat pranam. Yeah. Ashtanga pranam for men and Panchanga pranam for women. Yeah. Why? Because a person who has taken initiation or Diksha is not an ordinary soul. A beautiful verse says that Diksha Kale Sishya Kori Atma Samarpan, Se Kale Krishna Kari Atma Sama. That means at the time of initiation, you know what happens at the time of initiation? And some of you are going for initiation. Please hear this very carefully. Diksha Kale Sishya Kari Atma Samarpan. At the time of Diksha or initiation, if a devotee, if a disciple, if he offers himself to the spiritual master, yeah, Diksha Kale Sishya Kari Atma Samarpan. When one offers oneself to the spiritual master with one's heart and soul at the time of Diksha, Se Kale Krishna Kari Atma Sama. Such a person, Krishna accepts to be equal to himself. Yeah. So this is the glory of a person who has received Diksha in the right consciousness. So at the time of Diksha, Diksha means when you're offering yourself to the spiritual master. If a disciple can approach the Diksha in that consciousness of complete self-surrender to the Guru, such a person is accepted by Lord Krishna as equal to himself, Atma Sama. So this is the glory of Diksha, the power of initiation. Initiation is not ordinary. It's a very, very powerful process. Yeah, it's like you're plugging into the power station. It's a direct connection. It is Diksha, spiritual initiation. So at that time, when the disciple in full consciousness offers oneself to the Guru accepts such a person. I mean, the Krishna himself accepts such a disciple as equal to himself. So such a person who has received initiation and especially engaged in deity worship, what should one do whenever one comes across such a great person? One should offer obeisances to them. To offer obeisances to them. It's said that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the Shad Goswamis, used to offer hundreds of obeisances in a day to Vaishnavas, and hundreds of obeisances in a day to the deities. What is obeisances? Yeah, offering obeisances means one is giving up one's ego. Obeisances is not just a physical exercise of bending down. Obeisances is actually giving up one's ego, offering one's ego, yeah, surrendering one's ego to the Lord in the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. In fact, it is true. The more we offer obeisances, it actually humbles our heart. It purifies us of our ego. It's a very beautiful expression of honoring a devotee. Yeah. To mentally honor is one thing, and physically express that by offering obeisances, by offering respects, is amazing. One should, any time that you get an opportunity and you come across Vaishnavas, one should be eager to offer obeisances. A Vaishnava community that is thriving can be, or that is flourishing, can be identified by how eager one is to respect each other. There is a great, one of the great disciples of Srila Prabhupada. This sannyasi, I will just tell a small story. See, oftentimes, whenever we are sitting amongst devotees and all, sometimes after developing familiarity, somebody comes and offers respects or obeisances. How do we reciprocate? We just, touch the ground and say yes, yes, or, we don't actively offer obeisances, after a period of familiarity or after a period of seniority. Yeah. So today I'll tell you the example, a story of one great sannyasi. How eager in that high position, how eager was he to offer respects? So this sannyasi had met with a small accident, a leg injury, because of which his whole leg was, immobilized, and so he should not stand up. He's supposed to just sit on the chair. Yeah, he was not allowed to move. So, because he was a sannyasi, whoever guests come to see him, they come and offer respects, obeisances. And this sannyasi was, so sensitive about this, that even though those who are offering respects to him were quite junior to him, what he did? He was just holding a stick in his hand. Yeah. And whenever these devotees used to come to offer respects, he used to touch the stick to their feet without their knowledge when they are offering obeisances, and he used to put that stick to his head. Can you imagine the sensitivity and that desire to offer respects? This is what is, the third verse of Sikshastakam. Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishana amarina manadena. That means always eager to offer respects to others and not expecting any respect in return. Yeah, this is the key to chanting. Kirtaniya sadahari. Then does one have this, develop this devotion to always glorify Krishna? Then the day when one is more eager to respect than to receive respects. That is the day when one can actually chant the holy name of Krishna continuously with taste, yeah, with devotion, with attachment, with dependence, with absorption. All this happens at that time. So this is the beauty of respecting, offering appropriate respects. So we'll go back again to our Itihasas and let us see Draupadi. She is an epitome of offering appropriate respects. And it is described in the Mahabharata, after the entire scene of disrobing has happened, she was in such a shattered position. Can you imagine what humiliation she had gone through? She came to Hastinapur as the empress because it was just after the Rajasuya Yajna. That means from the princess, she's been the crowned empress of the whole world. And she walked into Hastinapur from Indraprastha. She walked into Hastinapur as the empress. And the next day it was this gambling match, where she was dragged into the Sabha, Asat Sabha, yeah, by the evil hands of Dushasana, and humiliated in front of the whole entire assembly with such caustic words by Karna. Yeah, such derogatory words. And by even such an evil act of disrobing her. Such assault. Can you imagine? I mean, see, each of us have a degree of honor for whatever we are, whatever little degrees we have beside our name or for the family that we come from. What is the degree of honor that Draupadi was holding? Topmost honor of a lady. They say now, first lady, like Queen Elizabeth or anybody. What is the honor that they deserve? I mean, what is the honor they're given? She's the empress of the whole world. That was the honor she deserved. She was brought and humiliated in the most derogatory way. And in that condition, when she was being dragged, she just stops at one place and she offers her obeisances to the assembly of the elders. And she begs forgiveness that please forgive me if I could not offer adequate respects. And everybody there who was actually weeping for her condition was just left in a state of shock. Bhishma Dev actually glorifies her. Nobody will ever be able to stand on dharma as much as you have stood up for dharma at this point of time. So this is what is offering respects. Offering respects is, it's one's integrity. It speaks of what you're made of, what substance a person is made of. It is actually displayed in the respectful dealings, especially with elders. It's the greatest ornament. Yeah, it's a key to the hearts of everyone. So one should learn how to adequately offer these respects. So today we have just discussed about how do we respect the Kanishta, how do you respect the Madhyama, and what about Uttamadhikari? Yeah, so let us see that. Uttamadhikari. Who is Uttamadhikari? Pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Yeah, so we have seen 3 grades. First grade is anyone who begins to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, Kanishta Adhikari. Second is one who has undergone spiritual initiation or diksha and is engaged in devotion, in worshipping the deity. Yeah, Madhyama. Now, Uttamadhikari. Who is Uttamadhikari? Pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of propensity to criticize others. Yeah. Nindadi shunyam hridam ipsita sangalabhyate. Yeah. Nindadi shunya. Ninda means to blaspheme others. Shunya means completely devoid of. Such a personality, how we should offer respects or honor? Associate with them and faithfully serve them. Very important. Associate with them and faithfully serve them. First of all, it is very rare to get the association of such great souls. Yeah, they are to get to even see such a devotee is such a great blessing in our life. It's a beautiful bhajan. Gangara parasha hoile paschate pava dashane pavitra puro ye tomara. This bhajan says that after bathing many times in the river Ganges, one becomes purified. But simply by having a darshan of a pure devotee, one is purified. Yeah? The effect that is received by all the way going and traveling, taking a dip in the holy Ganges, is received simply by taking the darshan of a pure devotee. Yeah, a pure devotee purified simply by giving his darshan. You know, I mean, I'll just tell you this very touching story of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada went to the West, and there were times when Srila Prabhupada also walked through the red light areas where women were into prostitution. And why did he do that? Simply to give this darshan, and through that darshan actually elevate them. This is the mercy of a pure devotee. With what can we actually estimate it? They're so eager to deliver us. And what are pure devotees? They go and take bath in the rivers. Yeah. And why do they have to take bath in the holy rivers? Because they're already pure. Why do pure devotees take bath in the holy rivers? Yeah. All the sins that we go and deposit in the holy rivers, they nullify them by taking bath in those rivers. That is the glory of pure devotees. Pure devotee's position is very high. We cannot even understand or estimate. And to get the darshan of such a pure devotee is so rare. And if we get the association, by all means, go and grab one way or the other. Yeah. So we have to see how, if you have read the Leelamrita of Srila Prabhupada, all the disciples, they were so eager to get the mercy of Prabhupada. Once Indradimya Swami Maharaj recollects, Prabhupada came to their center. So Indradimya Swami Maharaj was like, he was planning since the previous day how to get the Charanamrita of Prabhupada. So they ensured that, when as soon as Prabhupada has come, they made him sit and offered all the respects and offered all the pujas. And, put a big tray in which lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada was kept, and they offered the abhishek, the lotus feet of Prabhupada. And everybody was about to attack to get at least one drop from the Charanamrit. So as soon as Prabhupada left, there was a huge, competition to procure the Charanamrit. So Indradimya Swami Maharaj just took it, grabbed it, and he ran and went into his room and peacefully, he sat and he drank the entire Charanamrit. And Maharaj said, today, till date, if I'm surviving in my bhakti, I always remember it is because of the Charanamrit that I had drank that day. What faith! Yeah, what faith! So this is a faith that is required and conviction that is required. Yeah, in the power of the mercy of the Guru. When a person has such faith in the power of the mercy of the Guru, such a person's advancement is very high, very rapid. The three things that are very, very highly powerful, actually, Chaitanya Charitamrita describes it. Yeah, the dust of the holy feet of the Vaishnavas, the remnants of the food that is taken by the Vaishnavas, the Charanamrit, I guess. Yeah, these are the three things that are very, very powerful and potent. And one who realizes their importance and their potency, when the person develops that faith, yes, these are so precious. And with that faith, when one honors the dust or the remnants, such a person is purified. See, how did Narada Muni make so much of advancement in bhakti? He was simple maid servant's son. Yeah. All he did is he served the Bhakti Vedantas with faith and devotion, and with their permission, he honored their remnants. And simply by honoring their remnants, he was so purified at heart that he had, through the process of meditation, he actually had the darshan of the Lord. That is how powerful the remnants of pure Vaishnavas are. So this is how one should learn how to offer respects and honor pure devotees of the Lord. They deserve the highest respect because they have no reason to be on the material world except to deliver fallen souls like us. Their whole agenda is simply to deliver you and I. Our parents might have given us this material birth of this body, of this gross body, which is in fact an imprisonment. But how do we deliver ourselves from this body? Only a spiritual master can do it. And for such a great soul, what is the honor, what is the respect one has to give? So one should at least learn the basic etiquettes. Yeah, basic etiquettes. The basic etiquette is whenever we see a sannyasi who's walking, one should unconditionally offer respects. Whenever the Lord comes out from, onto the road on a palanquin or during the Jagannath Rath Yatra, whenever you see the Lord, immediately offer respects, offer obeisances, no matter in which condition you are. It's a pastime of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When he was one day actually going out, he was walking on the road. There was a huge, hefty Punjabi man who, as soon as he saw Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he offered full prostrated obeisances. Not bothering whether it's mud or anything. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was so pleased to see this person who had such a huge body that he offered his Dandavat Pranam, not caring whether it's a clean road or a dirty road, the muddy road he offered. So to get that, if we can actually please the heart of a pure devotee, even for a moment, Krishna takes it so seriously. He elevates such a person to such a great level. And it's the greatest fortune one can ever have, to be able to please a pure devotee of the Lord, even for a moment. So one should eagerly always await the mercy of such a great soul. It is said in all the three worlds, the most powerful force is Guru Kripa, the mercy of Sri Guru, the mercy of the spiritual master. It is greatest power in all the three worlds. There is nothing equal to it. And to such a spiritual master, to such a pure devotee of the Lord, what can we ever do to repay? Nothing. At least one should offer respects. One should worship. Dhyayan stuvam stasya yashasvi sanyam. The 3 days way of worshipping the spiritual master. What is it? Dhyayan stuvam stasya yashasvi sanyam. 3 times in a day, one should offer respects and glorification to the spiritual master. If not 3 times, at least once a day. That's why the whole Mangalarti in a temple begins with Guru Vashtaka, worshipping the spiritual master. So important it is. Yeah. So this is how a devotee worships. A devotee has to honor a Kanishtadikari, a Madhyamadikari, and a Uttamadikari. So this is what we have seen today in today's session. In tomorrow's session, in the next session, the part 2 of this text, we will see exactly how the Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama are classified based on different criteria. Okay, so I will end the session here. Thank you all very much. Any questions or comments? I can take one question. Thank you all too. Hari Bol. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Srinija. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hari Bol. Dandavat Mahalakshmi. Who is Pratiksha Das? Is there somebody attending this session for the first time today?
Yes, Mataji. It's my first time attending this session.
Hari Bol. Okay, we can stop the recording.